Hello everyone. Can anyone please confirm? Can anyone please confirm if I am audible? Am I audible? Yes.
Audible or not?
हाँ एक लिखा है yes. So shall we start? All right, fine. I think we do not have much time, so we will start right away. Today is the soil science most expected questions question paper 2. Uska part 1 आज होगा. We will discuss 60 questions and these questions are of moderate standard. So let's see how good is your preparation and we will start. All right. So I think you already know me, no need for other introduction again. So let's jump on to the first question. So the first question is always a easy one. We will start with study of genesis, survey, classification and geological distribution of soils. Please give the answer fast and we will move really quick. There will be no delay today. Yes, this question needs no discussion. The correct answer is pedology. As we know, pedology studies soil formation and classification, while edaphology is concerned with how soil functions as a medium for plant growth. All right, this is a very basic one. And you should remember one thing, like in one PYQ I have seen, they have asked question like, the study of soil is called, and in the option there was soil science also, and there was pedology also, there was edaphology also. So this kind of controversial questions might come sometime, and many of my seniors, they marked soil science, but actually the answer key that was given by NTA was pedology. So you can understand that regarding these definitions and this type of questions, pedology is a very important aspect. All right, so remember it. If they are asking something like and giving option soil science, I would say you should prefer to go with pedology. All right. Coming to the next question, who said that soil is a nutrient bin? If you have done my previous class, this question I was discussing, this question was not there, but I have told the answer to this question. This is also a very easy question, and you can expect questions of these types to come. Yes, bhai. Good evening, bhai. Rafin to nahi hai, bhai. No, it is not Rafin. Answers D. Yes, you are correct. I have taken you the most important definitions as given by the scientists. You will get this solved PPT in the group after you submit the Google form. There you can find it. So soil, here you can see it is a Latin word that means floor, and soil is a nutrient bin was told by Whitney. Soil as a mixture of Earth's uppermost mantle of weathered rock and organic matter was told by Ruffin. Hilgard told loose and friable material in which plant means of their roots, like plant gets a foothold. This also we discussed on the last class. And then Dokuchev told soil is a natural body composed of mineral and organic constituents. This is very, very important. This comes very regularly. So I have given this for your help and you should study all of this. These are the most important definitions. All right. Moving on to the next question. Dominant metallic element in Earth's crust. This one is a very easy question, but it is a tricky question. if you do not read the question correctly and if you do not read the question with proper concentration, you have a huge chance of getting this wrong. So let me see how many of you can do this correctly. I would suggest always, my suggestion is read the question twice, at least twice, and read all the 4 options, right? And then you tell me the answer. I can see B and B. Yes, this question became a bit easy because oxygen and silicon was not in the option, because just after seeing dominant we have a habit of marking oxygen and going on, but here the answer, the option gave you a bit of the edge. So here this has been taken from the new ISSS, as you know. Here you can see the most dominant is oxygen, second is silicon, third is aluminium, but oxygen is a gas, as we all know. And silicon, why is silicon not a metal? Silicon is what? Silicon is what? Can anyone tell? Why is silicon not the answer? Silicon is not the answer. Why? Can anyone tell? Silicon is what type of compound? What type of element? Non-metallic. No, it's not non-metallic. Oxygen जो है, oxygen को हम non-metallic बोल सकते हैं because it is a gas. It is definitely a non-metal. But silicon जो है, silicon is a metalloid. Yes, correct. Silicon is a metalloid. So this also might come. If this question is asked dominant metalloid element in earth crust, then it would be silicon. If you see that group, silicon comes in, silicon has the atomic number of 14, right? After aluminium. So that group in the periodic table, that is the group of metalloids. All right. So remember, read the questions very carefully. Whether what is it asking? If it is dominant element, it is oxygen. If it is dominant metallic, it is aluminium. If it is dominant metalloid, then it is silicon. All right. Moving on to the next question. It's a very nice assertion and reason question. This will test your concept. Let's see if you can do this. Given below are 2 statements, one is assertion, one is reason. The assertion says volumetric water content is a better index for geometry of water phase than soil water suction. So volumetric water content is denoted by theta and soil water suction is denoted by psi. The reason is volumetric water content depends on the entire volume of water phase. This is a very nice question. What would be the answer? Please be quick. We have to cover 60 questions today very fast. Please tell me the answer. Volumetric water content is a better index for geometry of water phase than soil water suction. Volumetric water content depends on the entire volume of the water phase. I can see A, I can see A. So you are telling both A and R are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. So yes, you are correct. This is the correct answer. Here you can see I have taken this from new ISSS. See, in soil, the better index for geometry of water phase. The geometry of water phase is mainly decided by 2 factors. One is soil water suction and another is the volumetric water content. Here, if you read this part thoroughly, you can clearly see it has written the different values of water content can correspond to same value of water potential. This water content might be different, like the volume might be different, but the suction might be same depending on the type of soil. For sandy soil, for clay soil, for loamy soil, that value can differ. And also the soil water potential represents the energy status of water, which is due to air water interface geometry, and it does not depend on the entire geometry of water phase. So the entire geometry of water phase is not responsible for the value of the psi. The psi is majorly dependent on the air water interface, the atmosphere and the water interface. And that, as a reason, this psi value is highly variable. There can be many volumetric content of water which can be denoted by the same psi value depending on the various types of soil. So entire geometrical phase, whereas volumetric water content depends on the entire volume geometry of water phase. Hence, volumetric water content is a better index for geometry of water phase than soil water suction. This is written in both old ISSS and new ISSS in the soil water chapter. Be very thorough with it. यहाँ से questions आने का बहुत chances है, majorly in assertion reason type or in statement type. So be very careful with the wordings. All right. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comments. If not, we will move fast, right? Moving on to question number 5. This one is also a good question. Let's see if you are thorough with your theory and if you understand. It is an alteration product of iron-bearing minerals having hardness of 4 and may itself alter to hematite or limonite. It is also an important mineral in waterlogged soils. Identify the mineral. This is a very standard question, I must say. For the JRF level, this is a very standard question. And if the question level is high, like the 2025 one, you can expect some questions like this. It is an alteration product of iron-bearing mineral, hardness of 4, itself alters to hematite or limonite, and an important mineral in waterlogged soil. So identify. पहले तो ऑप्शंस देखो, हेमाटाइट है, लिमोनाइट है, सिडेराइट है, पाइराइट है. क्वेश्चन में ऑलरेडी लिखा हुआ है कि itself alter to hematite or limonite. So there has been a sitter thing कि hematite और limonite तो नहीं होगा. Hematite और limonite तो नहीं होगा because it is already given in the question, and also this statement also gives that कि important mineral in waterlogged soil, because waterlogged soil में हम जानते हैं waterlogged soil में there is submergence of water, that's why the redox potential decreases. अब hematite जो है, hematite is Fe2O3 and limonite is FeOOH, right? So both of these are oxidized forms. So waterlogged soil में तो ये नहीं होगा, right? Now the answer can be both pyrite and siderite. So if we go by the process of elimination, out of pyrite and siderite, we have to see the other clues. In the other clues, you can see it has a hardness of 4 and it is an alteration product of iron bearing mineral. तो दोनों है. We know pyrite is Fe2 and siderite is FeCO3. So from here you have to know which is the answer. And yes, you all are correct. You are telling that siderite, option C, and it is correct. This snapshot has been taken from treatise. If you can see in the soil chemistry, there in the note below, you can see this. Siderite, FeCO3 mineral is most important mineral in waterlogged soils, which is an alteration product of other iron-bearing minerals. Now, why this happens? That includes a lot of theory, which you will study once you come in PhD. That covers the soil chemical environment and plant growth. One course is there. In that, there are solubility curves. Seeing those solubility curves, you can find out which element, which compound will form in which EH and which pH, and by that you can get. For now, you just know this. Be logical. Apply your brain, and you can find out the answer easily. Not a problem. जैसे hematite, limonite तो यहाँ से हो गया eliminate. So out of these two, siderite is the correct answer. All right, let's move on. Which type of soil represents the following features? This is a very easy question, so I would expect a fast answer. Which type of soil represents the following features? Number 1, shows accumulation of salt at or near the surface, forming gypsic, salic, calcic or petrocalcic horizon. This is a very good point. It gives in a lot of information. Then contains attapulgite minerals. Then occupies an area of about 29 million hectares, generally low in nutrients and has very limited profile development, supports sparse and xerophytic vegetation. This last point gives in the answer totally. So tell me, yes, desert soil is the answer. This is a very easy question. You don't have to know that much also. This xerophytic vegetation directly gives in the answer. Also, this formation of gypsic, salic, calcic, this also gives in the answer because this forms in the desert soil in the arid and semi-arid climate where there is lots of, the evaporative demand is very high and the water goes up and the salts accumulate in the soil, resulting in the formation of these horizons, gypsic, salic and calcic or petrocalcic. And also, even if you don't remember this data, doesn't matter because there are lots of data to find out the answer. And also, in the exam, you might not get all this data. So be bit thorough with your study. This you can study from new ISSS. In the new ISSS, the soil genesis and that chapter, where in the last you can see soils of India, where the alluvial soil, red soil, black soil, desert soil, all those are there, mountain soil. Those you should be very thorough because वहाँ से question आते हैं. It's better you keep some days separately for that and study that portion positively with the area in India, like what is the area of alluvial soil, what is the area of red soil, what is the area of black soil, and all those area values you should know, and you should know the all the salient features, because wahan se question aate hai. At least 2 questions you can definitely expect. I remember in my time vertisol came, vertisol, andisol, sorry, vertisol, alfisol, these are easy, but if sometimes it might get a bit mixed up with the desert soil and the forest soil and the mountain soil, right? So be a bit careful, be a bit thorough, and it will not be a problem. These are the easy parts. Let's move on. Question number 7. Which of the following statements is incorrect? Please put your mind on the question and read that this is incorrect. It is telling incorrect. So let's read. Petrogenesis, origin of rocks, this is a correct statement. Petrography, description of rocks, this is a correct statement because graphy means description, genesis means origin. Up to 5 km of arch crust, sedimentary rocks are predominant. This is also a correct statement. As we know, we were discussing on the last day, 74%, up to 5 km of arch crust. So all ABC are correct. So from here only you can get the answer that only D is incorrect, but still we'll read. Up to 5 km of arch crust, sandstone exists 52%. This is wrong answer. Even if you do not remember the data, this question gives in the answer as usual. So this has been taken from new ICCS, as you can see this snapshot. Here you have to remember these values. You have to remember these values. This is the composition of the upper 5 km of the arch crust, where 74% is sedimentary rocks and 18% is igneous rocks. Out of that 74, shale is 52% and not sandstone. Sandstone is not 52%. Sandstone is 15%. All right, you remember these values, please. These values are very important and might come, right? Moving on to the next question. How many soil orders are included in the 7th approximation 1960? Sorry for the typing error here. 7th approximation of 1960. How many soil orders are there in the 7th approximation system of soil classification? I cannot see any answers. Is this an internet problem or is it a problem with C? No, C is the wrong answer. That's why I was telling, these are the very easy questions and these are very sitter questions, and if you make this wrong, you might have a very huge problem in your rank. All right. A is 10. Yes, you are correct. The answer is definitely 10. It's not 12, it's not 9. According to the 7th approximation, there were 10 soil orders included in the 7th approximation 1960 system of soil classification. All right, this is written in ICCS. Read अच्छे से पढ़ो उसको, you will know. Note, also I have put a special note for you so that if you study this PPT, you can get it again. The modern USDA soil taxonomy system has since expanded to 12 orders with the later additions of Andisols and Jellysols. यहाँ से from this statement only we can get 2 more questions. What are the soil orders that are newly added? Andi and Jelly. Also, another question is very common, very frequently they ask, which is the latest soil order that has been added in the classification, soil taxonomy? So that answer would be Jellisol. All right, be very thorough with these parts. Soil taxonomy से question बहुत आते हैं and उनमें से these are the database questions you should know, right? There were 10 in the 7th approximation. उसके बाद उसको expand करके 12 करा गया. Andisol and Jellisol are the new additions. Jellisol is the most current addition. और ये भी एक क्वेश्चन आ सकता है कि इसके पहले इन दोनों कौन से ऑर्डर में था? Like Andisol used to be a sub classification of Inceptisol and it used to come under Andept. All right, ये सारा चीज ICCS में है, old ICCS, the chapter written by Dr. J.L. Sehgal. Go and read that, and if you have J.L. Sehal's pedology, that also you can read. That is also a very good book for pedology. All right, I think we are clear. If you have any doubts at any point of time, you can put it in the comment section. No problem, I will see. So another very sitter question, but very important one. They ask this kind of questions very frequently. Enstatite, augite, hypersthene, diopside, and rhodonite are examples of which type of silicate minerals? Our question setter is very kind and very gentle, it seems. He gives you a lot of options so that even if you know 1 or 2, you can give the answer. But NTA and ICAR might not be that gentle, you know, and so you have to remember the names. They might ask only augite, they might ask only hypersthene, or or bad, they might give the name of the silicate and they might give the name of the minerals like A, B, C, D, E, and in the option they might ask like A only, A, B only, like those. You know the pattern, right? You know the pattern of the questions and they ask very frequently like this. So you have to be very thorough with the names of the minerals. How much ever bad it feels to memorize the names, you have to remember. That is my earnest request. Read thoroughly, read many times and you will get to know. Okay, so answer, any answer? I can see only one answer saying C, silicate. Anyone else? Anyone else? I cannot see any other answer, so I will move on because we have a bit time crunch. Yes, you are correct. The correct answer is inosilicates. This table, I am repeatedly telling you, this table is perhaps the most important or out of the top 3 most important tables in your book. Please remember the names, please remember this formula, and please remember the examples. These 3 things you have to remember from that table. This table is both in old ISSS and in new ISSS, and in every book, soil science book, whichever you open, this table is there. In that table, you please read the divisions of the silicates, and also you please read these formulas, what is the formula of the unit cell, and also the examples, the important examples, right? Here you can see ek ke baad ek, augite, enstatite, hyperthine, diopside. And these questions, not only for JRF, these questions I have faced myself in UGC NET also. So once you remember this table, it becomes very easy to answer these questions and it is not a matter of anything hard. So please be very thorough with this table. This table is very, very, very important. All right, moving on. Conglomerate, sandstone, shale, and limestone are examples of which type of rock? This question I will not say anything. I'll just move on with the answer. Tell me the answer and we are good to go. B, right? Sedimentary. Yeah, यहाँ पे तो we don't have to read anything. So here you can see our courses. And if you are interested, you please visit our website and see. So the correct answer to this, sedimentary rocks. Yes, I have given the source also. It is in new ISSS, page number 62. Here you can see the sedimentary rocks, shale, conglomerate, limestone, sandstone, and their properties are there. You have to remember these properties also. यहाँ से भी question आता है, especially this line, conglomerate. It is detrital rock made up of more or less rounded fragments, where the rock is known as breccia if the fragments are angular than rounded. This question also comes very frequently. That's why I have given you the photo of this. You should read this very thoroughly and very carefully. All right, especially this conglomerate, what I told, breccia and conglomerate. All right, moving on. Okay, given below are 2 statements. Andisols are highly susceptible to water erosion. Andisols have high phosphorus fixation capacity, making phosphorus unavailable for plant growth. This I would tell, this is a hard question. You have to answer, you have to read thoroughly. Only then you can answer this, otherwise it is a bit difficult for answering. Let's see if you can answer this. Come on. Still now I cannot see any answers. Andisols are highly susceptible to water erosion. Andisols have high phosphorus fixation capacity, making phosphorus unavailable for plant growth. I can see one answer, A. Both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. No, this is not the correct answer. Anyone else? No. All right. We'll go to the answer. Statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. It is option 4. Here I have taken this directly from old ISSS, the land use section of the Andisol part. Go and read it thoroughly. Questions directly you can see here. It is advantageous to grow crops that show little response to the application of phosphorus, for instance, sweet potatoes. The major limitation in the use of Andisols is their high phosphate fixation capacity, which renders P unavailable. It is clearly written there. So Andisols have high phosphorus fixation capacity, making phosphorus unavailable for plant growth. This is a true statement. True is correct. And then here you can see Andisols are generally stable and resist water erosion because of high infiltration and permeability rates. When dry, they are susceptible to wind erosion. So Andisols are highly susceptible to water erosion is a wrong statement. So statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. Go and open old ISSS, read very thoroughly. This part, this chapter is the most remembering chapter. You have to remember. For remembering, you have to read it again and again. Then only you can remember it. All right. Like see, Andisols, you all know. You have read it many times. It is volcanic soil. Iska color ye hai, property ye hai, wo hai, and all. But see here, when we are getting the question, we are also getting confused because so many properties are there. So इसका एक ही इलाज है, बार बार पढ़ना है, and we'll be good to go. What is the color of the following minerals? Biotite, augite, magnetite, and graphite. Yeah, this is a very easy question. 1 or 2 minerals only gives in the answer. So if there were some less minerals, then I think it would have been more interesting. But here too many names are given, so I think the answer would not be a problem. Yes, I can see C, black. So no wasting time here. Here, this table has been taken from treatise, as you can understand with the font. So quartz is colorless, feldspar and all is white to pale. Iron pyrite, also called fool's gold. This is very important. Be very thorough with this table also. यहाँ से question आता है. So iron pyrite is yellow or golden. Olivine, serpentine, hornblende are greenish. Garnet is reddish brown. Biotite, augite, hematite, magnetite, graphite are black. यहाँ पे we all know biotite is also called black mica, so biotite is black. वहीं पे हमको आंसर आ गया. उसके बाद भी if you are a bit skeptical, तो graphite तो सबको पता है, graphite is there in pencils. So you have seen pencils, जो उसका जो lid होता है, that is graphite. So that is definitely black. So black is the answer. And orthoclase is pink or flesh color. This is also important. I have seen this in PYQ. What is the color of orthoclase? That is pink or flesh. All right. So see this table carefully. Go and read this table. हाँ, all right, and remember this. This one is very important. यहाँ से question आने के chances है. ठीक है? Moving on. What is the sequence of topographically related soils that have comparable parent material, climate and age, but show different soil characteristics due to variations in relief and drainage? This is a very easy question. If you have read the pedology by Sehgal, or if you have read treatise, this is nothing. You can easily say this question. I will let you see the question. What is the sequence of topographically related soils that have comparable parent material, climate and age, but show different soil characteristics due to variations in relief and drainage? I can see B. Of course, this is B. Here I have taken the here you can see this snapshot is also from treatise. The term catena was introduced by G. Milne in 1935. This is important. Remember the name of the scientist. The term Milne was coined by the term catena was coined by Milne, which is the sequence of topographically related soil which have comparable parent material. इसका मतलब क्या है? Parent material was same parent material, climate and age, everything is same, but the soil characteristics differ due to variation in relief and drainage. मतलब यहाँ का relief ज्यादा है, यहाँ का relief कम है, तो ये जो soil है और ये जो soil है, दोनों soil का parent material, age, climate, everything is same, but both of these soil show different characteristics only due to variation in relief and drainage. Because यहाँ का relief you can see slope is steep, यहाँ का relief the slope is less, and also drainage यहाँ पे बहुत fast है, यहाँ पे drainage impeded है, the drainage is not there. For these reasons, soil में जो difference आता है, that difference is called catena. All right, and the term was coined by Milne in 1935. This is also a very important question. Either catena might come or Milne might come, right? So remember both of them. All right, moving on. This is again a question from soil forming processes. Removal of silica from soil and accumulation of sesqui oxides with or without the formation of ironstone and concretion is called. This question should take only 10 seconds for our soil science students. If you have read soil science, exam में अभी बस एक महीना बचा है. 4th July is the exam, so I don't think it should take much time. I can already see option C. Is it option C? Removal of silica. पहला तीन removal of silica, पहला तीन देख के ही lateralization मत मार देना, पूरा question पढ़ना. But yes, the option is, answer is lateralization. All right. I was telling you, like 2 or 3 of the most important tables, usme this is one. This table is most important. This is present in the last page of that soil formation chapter in the old ISSS, जो green ISSS है, उसमें जाके ये table पढ़ना. This is very important. In all the PYQs, यहाँ से 2, 3, 4 question तो mandatory है. You will get. Mostly you will get like they will give the name of the process and they will give the definition in match the following. And they will omit such words such carefully that you will get very confused. I myself got confused. So be very thorough with this table only. Like यहाँ पे जो 3 term है, brownification, rubification, ferruginization, तीनों को याद रखना है. Laterization, podzolization, regur formation, glaciation, leaching, salinization, lessivage. Lessivage से तो बहुत सारा question आता है. So this table is very important. If you read this table thoroughly and remember, you can say that this table only will fetch you at least 8 to 12 marks in your JRF exam. यानी 2 से 3 क्वेश्चन तो यहाँ से आएगा, आने का संभावना है. It can be statement based, it can be assertion reason based, it can be a straight question like this. Mostly it will be a matching, right? PYQs analysis जब हम करेंगे तब भी I will show you यहाँ से कितने questions आते हैं. How important is this? All right. Moving on. In Jackson et al.'s weathering indices, what is the weathering index of the following clay minerals respectively? This is also a annoying question, but questions like this come. तुम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. Questions like this come. So Jackson et al.'s weathering indices, what is the weathering index of the following clay minerals? इसके लिए you have to remember the Jackson's weathering index. I would suggest you make the use of mnemonics. If you don't know what is mnemonics, go and search. You make some poem, you make some song, do something, but remember. ऐसा भी हुआ है, I have seen myself and my seniors have told कि if you wake up on the exam day, just read the tables on that chapter of ISSS, the weathering and soil formation, and go for the exam. There is a huge chance you will get more than 50% score, right? This chapter is so important. यहाँ से इतना question आता है and it is so scoring, right? So I can see D and D, option D. So yes, all of you are correct. यहाँ पे I have taken it directly from old ISSS, as you can see, but the source here is given as FEBR's Chemistry of Soils. वो पढ़ने का जरूरत नहीं है. ISSS is more than enough, but you have to remember this. Mnemonics, I believe, is your own. You have to make it your own, but I can help you in making. Like gypsum हो गया G, calcite हो गया C, olivine हो गया O, B हो गया, biotite हो गया B. So you can put it like Jacob. Then उसके बाद A, Q, कुछ बना के you can make some type of poem कि Jacob आके मुझे मार के गया, kind of. I made it, but mnemonics should be yourself only. So यहाँ का कुछ बना लेना, but please remember this, यहाँ से question आएगा and you have to remember the values also, like pedogenic chloride, then allophane, then hematite. This allophane, I remember in my SRF it came in 2025 SRF, in which I got All India rank 9. This question came. They asked directly, allophane का बताओ and vermiculite का बताओ. Straight question. If you get, it will take you hardly 5 seconds and you will get 4 marks, right? यहाँ पे ख्याल रखने का जो चीज है, quartz comes before montmorillonite and chlorite and all those, and here also, but this gets opposite when you read the Golditch weathering series, huh? So be very careful. This is in the clay size mineral and Golditch का जो stability series है, that is for primary minerals. So primary mineral में अलग होता है. Primary mineral में if you remember, quartz comes at last, उसके ऊपर है feldspar, but यहाँ पे quartz ऊपर है, उसके नीचे vermiculite है, montmorillonite है, pedogenic chlorite है. All right. So put your mind, be careful and read this thoroughly and keep the differences in mind of Jackson's weathering index and Golditch stability series. The sedimentary deposits that were laid down by rivers but are no longer subject to flooding are called. This is also a very straight question. tell me straight answer. The sedimentary deposits that were laid down by rivers are no longer subject to flooding are called. This is also taken directly from old ISSS. I cannot see any answers. I can see one, option C, delta deposits. Delta deposits is wrong. Delta deposit ये नहीं है, but are no longer subject to flooding. Delta is very often subject to flooding. Alluvial fans भी ये नहीं है. That's why I'm telling you, read ISSS very thoroughly, very thoroughly. ISSS ही पढ़ना है. Alluvial fans is not this. Alluvial fans is not this. This is also from that same chapter only. What I'm talking about. See, alluvial terraces, the sedimentary deposits that were laid down by the rivers but are not subject to flooding now are called alluvial terraces. These terraces are generally located at a higher elevation than the floodplains and are separated by escarpments of different heights. Most of the Indo-Gangetic plains are alluvial terraces. वहाँ पे जितने भी वहाँ पे है, the name of these structures, alluvial terraces, alluvial fans, delta, you should be very thorough and read. वैसे पूरा पढ़ने का जरूरत नहीं है. First 2-3 lines are important. Write the keywords. You can make your own notes. Write only the keywords, but you should remember. जैसे यहाँ पे keyword है that were laid down by rivers but are no longer subject to flooding. Only this much. This much should give you the answer, alluvial terraces. In the last question, last class that I was taking, there the question was alluvial fans. All right. So you should read those alluvial terrace, alluvial fan, delta deposits. That is also in that same chapter of weathering and soil formation in old ISSS. This question is from Dr. J. Sehgal's chapter, Genesis. Xerozyme soils, chestnut soils, podzol soils, and laterite soils falls under which category? This is a very straight question. We will move very fast with this. I cannot see any answers. I can see A, zonal soils. Any other answers? Okay, we will not waste any more time here. You are absolutely correct. These are called zonal soils. The zonality concept, as we know, was given by Dokuchev. The soils that have fully developed soil profiles and are in equilibrium with the environmental conditions, such as climate and vegetation, are termed as zonal soils. इसका example है xerozyme, chestnut, podzol, and laterite. The soils formed in regions where time has been a limiting factor to produce fully developed horizons, उसको कहते हैं azonal soil. And like alluvial soils and regosols, still others. And the areas that are having characteristics जो zonal soil में है, but local factor की वजह से that has some other property than the zonal soil, that is called intrazonal. So this is very easy to remember. Zonal क्या है? एक zone के हिसाब से है zonal. Zone किससे define होता है? Zone define होता है climate, environment, क्लाइमेट और एनवायरनमेंट से. सो क्लाइमेट और एनवायरनमेंट के साथ जो इक्विलिब्रियम में है, इन दोनों की वजह से जो सॉइल फॉर्म हो गया, दैट इज जोनल सॉइल. जहां पे टाइम लिमिटिंग कंडीशन है, टाइम की वजह से होराइजन नहीं बन पा रहा है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एजोनल सॉइल. एंड zonal soil के बीच, this is a place of zonal soil. Out of that there is a patch which has some different properties than the other zonal soil due to some local factors. Local factors में क्या आएगा? It might be relief, it might be parent material, it might be anything else. That is called local factors. Local factors की वजह से जो difference आएगा, that so zonal के अंदर कुछ अगर दूसरा है, that is called intrazonal. That is very easy to remember. zonal के अंदर अलग property, that is intrazonal, और जिसके पास time नहीं है, that is azonal. As easy as that. And जो climate and environment की वजह से जो soil form होता है, उसको क्या बोलता है? Ectodynamomorphic की endodynamomorphic? Tell me fast. Zonal soil जो है, हाँ, so climate and environment यानी कि जो बाहर से जो influence कर रहे हैं, that is called ectodynamomorphic. और जो soil that is forming due to the parent material, that is the inside, endo, अपने अंदर की वजह से जो form हो रहा है, that is endodynamomorphic. All right, that is a very easy concept. So again we have a pedology question. पूरा pedology ही चल रहा है आज तो. The characteristics of plinthite horizon are. Characteristics of plinthite horizon are. Plinthite देख के ही दिमाग में आना चाहिए. अभी एग्जाम का 1 महीना है. Plinthite देख के ही दिमाग में आना चाहिए. Poor in humus, rich in sesqui oxide. So these two are correct, right? This horizon is usually mottled with yellowish, grayish or white materials. This is also correct. This is a type of epipedan. क्या ये epipedan है? No. So choose the correct answer from the option given below. So of course it is A, B and C. You go open your ISSS, old ISSS, Dr. J. Sehgal's chapter. वहाँ पे you will get this full plinthite. This is very, very important. You should be very thorough with plinthite horizon. It is a humus poor, sesqui oxide rich, humus poor, sesqui oxide rich, which hardens irreversibly to ironstone hardpan aggregates with repeated wetting and drying. The red indurating portions of the layer are usually mottled with yellow, grayish or white materials. Yellow, grayish or white materials. So A, B, C are correct. All right, moving on. The lowest and the most specific category of soil taxonomy is. This is a very easy question. We will not take any time for this. We'll just move on like this. I'm just waiting for your answer. Yes, I can see the answer. It is C. That's very good. Here, this is also taken from old ISSS. The order, highest category, suborder is the second, grade group is third, subgroup, family, series. Series is the lowest and the most specific category. It is straight away given in the question. Nothing to worry about it, nothing to discuss about it. कुछ doubt है तो बाद में पूछ लेना, यहाँ पे कोई doubt होना नहीं चाहिए. Moving on. This is a very good question, but a very easy one also. This question will come from common sense only, even if you don't know, doesn't matter. The plantation of high water consuming crops for the withdrawal of groundwater. Plantation of high water consuming crops for the withdrawal of groundwater is termed as. You should have a knowledge of English for this, or कुछ नहीं चाहिए इसके लिए, because the options are so easy. So surface drainage तो ये नहीं है. Surface drainage क्या है? Subsurface drainage भी नहीं है, mold drainage भी नहीं है. Mold drainage is nothing but a part of subsurface drainage, वो भी नहीं है. So this is bio drainage. इसमें कुछ नहीं करना है. I have, for your help, I have given you this. You can read it in the PPT. Like कौन सा plant use होता है, eucalyptus or poplar trees. बाकी देख लेना, है ना? Which soil order represents the properties of a recently developed? यहीं पे आंसर आ गया. Recently developed. You should be able to locate the keywords and get the answers. Recently developed mineral soil with no diagnostic horizon, and a slight degree of soil formation due to limiting time or exceedingly unfavorable conditions. बताओ जल्दी जल्दी जल्दी. I can see A, I can see A. Very good, very good, very good. यहाँ पे और कुछ बोलने का है ही नहीं. Entisols. This ent comes from recent. All of you know that. These are very recently developed mineral soils with no diagnostic horizon other than an ocric or anthropic epipedan. The main feature of Entisol is a slight degree of soil formation because of limiting time or exceedingly unfavorable conditions. Directly straight question, straight answer. इसको mark करके हम लोग आके निकल जाएंगे with our ranks. The soil survey. Finally, we have come to soil survey and planning. The soil survey which is undertaken in priority areas. Locate the keywords in the question, read the question twice and then answer. It is very easy. Such as pilot projects, agricultural research stations, micro watersheds and for urban development is. Soil survey which is undertaken in priority areas. I can see one answer, A. This is also very easy. Even if you don't know this, you should not take much time because the question itself is giving in the answer, right? Detailed, because we are priority areas. Priority areas में reconnaissance, semi-detailed, detailed reconnaissance से नहीं चलेगा ना. Priority areas, it requires priority, it requires your full attention, it requires your full concentration. उसके लिए soil survey which is undertaken in priority areas such as pilot project, agricultural research stations, micro watersheds and for urban development. Of course, it would be detailed. I have taken this from old ISSS. Here you can see this has been directly taken from here. Here you can see all those. एकदम लाइन में ही है. पायलट प्रोजेक्ट, एग्रीकल्चर रिसर्च स्टेशन, एग्रीकल्चरल फार्म्स, माइक्रो वाटर शेड्स एंड फॉर एरियाज ऑफ अर्बन डेवलपमेंट. ऑलराइट, मूविंग ऑन. This is also a very important question. Again back to pedology. हम pedology से अभी तक बाहर नहीं निकल पाए हैं. But what to do? Pedology is very important and it is very scoring also, and it is also the most part which will bring the most negative marking as well. So be very thorough. Answer this. Fragipan layer is brittle when moist and very hard when dry. Fragipan layer dry pigments do not slake in water. दो statement है. कौन correct है, कौन गलत है, या दोनों correct है कि नहीं? These type of questions are very common nowadays, as we know, with the changing pattern and with the increasing level of competition of JRF and SRF both. These kind of questions are more. State questions अभी और नहीं आते. Fragipan क्या है? No, they will ask like this only. So be very thorough with this. Fragipan layer is brittle when moist and very hard when dry. Fragipan air dry pigments do not slake in water. I am seeing option A. Option A इसका correct answer है क्या? Option A इसका correct answer नहीं है. You have to be thorough. ISSS में वो जो chapter है, you have to be very thorough. You have to read it multiple times. Fragipan is a subsoil layer. यहाँ पे एक question बन गया. Is it a epi or endo? It is a subsoil layer. It is of high bulk density. दो question बन गया. It is brittle when moist and very hard when dry. Brittle when moist and very hard when dry. That is true. It does not soften on wetting but can be broken in the hands. The air dry fragments slake in water. The air dry fragments slake in water, which has been deliberately made incorrect by saying do not. So you have to be that level of precise. कहीं पे एक not लग जाएगा, कहीं पे एक no लग जाएगा, कहीं पे कुछ negative लग जाएगा, right? Do not slake in water. So this is wrong. This is correct. ISSS का वो chapter खोलना, उसको पढ़ना, right? According to USDA, the size of fine sand is, this question we were discussing on the last class also. You should be very thorough with this now and this should be very easy for you. Again, I will write the table for you. Less than 0.002, ऐसे याद रखना, इसको याद रखना, कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है. If you remember this two, then from the third layer, it is very easy to remember. इसके साथ into 2 करते जाओ. यहाँ पे into 2.5 करो. Then again, you have to move back to your into 2 वाला concept. All right, आंसर आ गया है क्या? Size of fine sand. People are telling C. C है क्या? Let's see. No, C तो नहीं है. Why would you say C? Fine sand. It's not very fine. Clay, silt, very fine, fine, medium, coarse, very coarse. Fine sand is be very thorough with these answers. Get this trick. All right. See this table. ऐसे करके लिख लेना. All right. First you write these values in right hand. Whenever you get your rough sheet, write this like this. You have to just remember this two and you have to remember this. Other than that, all are like into 2, into 2, into 2, into 2. This is into 2.5 and this you have to remember. So this is clay, silt, very fine, fine, medium, coarse, very coarse. That is easy. So they are asking fine sand. Fine sand है 0.25 से 0.1. All right. IUSS और USDA का क्लासिफिकेशन दोनों के दोनों एकदम जहन में होना चाहिए. It should be in your lips and it should be in the tip of your fingers. देखते ही you should mark and go. You cannot waste your time in these questions, right? Here you can see again our courses, and if you are interested, you can take. Here you can see the PG course, the PG mock test course, and also the exam course. So this is a very easy question. We will take exactly 10 seconds for this, no more than 10 seconds, right? The arrangement of primary and secondary soil particles in certain structural pattern. Again keyword finding, keyword मिल गया, इसका आंसर हो गया. This is the most basic difference of all time. बस यहाँ पे कोई time waste नहीं होगा, सिर्फ आगे चलेंगे. The primary soil particles do not exist as such in natural conditions. These aggregates formed under natural conditions are called PEDs. Soil structure is defined as the arrangement of primary and secondary soil particles in certain structural pattern. Right? यहाँ पे कुछ डाउट नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है. Moving on. Which of the following, question ध्यान से पढ़ना है. You have to read the question carefully. Which of the following statements are not correct? ठीक है. Which of the following statements are not correct about hydrometer method? क्या correct है ये पता होना चाहिए. To know which are not correct, let's read the statements. Based on the principle that there is no continuous decrease of density of soil suspension with time at the rate of particles fall below the level of hydrometer. एक झलक देख के लगेगा अरे ये तो करेक्ट है, लेकिन डेलिबरेटली यहाँ पे नो लिखा गया है. These are deliberate attempts to confuse you. ऐसा क्वेश्चन रहेगा एनटीए में, आईसीआर में. डेलिबरेटली दे आर ट्राइंग टू. ठीक है. मेथड इज रैपिड बट लेस एक्यूरेट. दैट इज ट्रू. यूज्ड फॉर स्मॉल सैंपल्स, not necessarily. Gives erroneous results for soils having high CaCO3 and organic matter. This is true. हमसे क्या पूछा है? Not correct. तो जिसमें D है और B है उसको हटाओ. Both A and C are not correct. Only C is not correct. So both A and C are not correct. I can see all the correct answers. That's a very good indication. You all are in the right track. So यहाँ पे जो नो है इस नो को याद रखना है, यहाँ पे जो नॉट है उसको याद रखना है, उस पे ध्यान देना है. And you have to mark these answers. It is not used for small samples. Small sample अगर हमारे पास है तो we can use international pipette method because that is very accurate and we need accuracy in life. So this is used for large samples जहाँ पे international pipette method में बहुत time लग जाएगा. So we will use this hydrometer method, right? Moving on, the ratio of total volume of soil to the total mass of dry soil is called. This is a very basic question, extremely basic question. इसका आंसर भी extremely जल्दी आ जाना चाहिए, but you have to be careful. Again I would say read the options twice, क्योंकि यहाँ पे सिर्फ नाम के साथ साथ यूनिट भी दिया हुआ है, यूनिट भी देखना है. ऐसा करके मान लो I have done this myself many times, where I have read the question and I was so sure just by seeing the first option I saw it was correct, I marked and I went on. फिर बाद में जब आंसर की आया I was sitting like this because the first option was A is correct. Suppose मैं वो देख के मार के चला गया, लेकिन लास्ट ऑप्शन में था both A and C are correct. मैं उतना तक गया ही नहीं because I was so sure कि हाँ A तो correct है, मार के चला गया. Read all the four options very carefully. Read the question at least twice. This is very important. ये करना ही है, ठीक है? Now let's see the answers. Someone is saying B. अरे यार bulk density नहीं है यार. Bulk का उल्टा है ना. Bulk density is MS by VT. ऐसा गलतियां होने से these things are very non-forgiving. You should not make these mistakes. Yes, it is D. Of course, it is D. Specific volume and the unit is meter cube per megagram. It is nothing but it is just the opposite of bulk density. It is the reciprocal of bulk density. This has been taken from old ISSS. It is the ratio of total volume of soil to the total mass of dry soil. It is the volume of unit mass of dry soil and expressed as centimeter cube per gram or megagram per, meter cube per megagram, and it is given by VT by MS. All right. Yes, I think we are on the right track. Move on. Let's move on. Soft or friable consistency of soil is observed in the PF range. PF, questions with PF are also very common and those are very high chance of coming in the exam. PF को लेके questions आते हैं and you have to be very thorough with the concept of PF. I can see option C as one answer. Anyone else would like to give any answer or हम आगे चले? Option C. What? Anil Jat, Ankita, Anmesha. Yes, all of you, both of you are very correct. This is the table from treatise. Treatise तो पढ़ना ही है, ISSS भी पढ़ना है. हार्ड और हार्श का पीएफ वैल्यू इज दिस, सॉफ्ट और फ्राइबल का पीएफ वैल्यू दिस, प्लास्टिक का दिस, स्टिकी का दिस, विस्कस का दिस. You have to remember this. This is very easy. Yesterday I have put one question in the group. I don't know how many of you are in that group of AgriAddict. Okay, say suppose there is 1000 centimeter of column of soil water. So what is the pF value in that case? What would be the pF value for 1000 centimeter? I will not go into the definitions of pF and all. I know you, all of you know that, because exam is just knocking on the door. So what would be the pF of 1000 centimeter of water column? Anyone? Just write the numerical value. That is very easy. Anil Jat, Bipin Yadav. I can see Shreyoshi Manna writing 3, huh? Very good. It's correct. It will be 3, right? Because log of 1000, itna easy to hai yaar. Log of 10 cube, that is 3. If this was 10,000, it would have been 4. If it was 100, it would have been 2. ठीक है? PF का concept लेके be very careful. हाँ, PF is very important and they might ask some deep questions from that also, right? So bar के साथ भी PF का क्या है याद रखना है, ये तो याद ही रखना है. Like how this value comes 2.8, how this value comes 4.5, and वो जो field capacity FC का कितना है, PWP का कितना है, वो कैसे आता है, these things you should be very thorough, right? Moving on, अभी तो time नहीं है, we might discuss it later in our batches. Given below are two statements. Soil compaction is referred as the increase in density of a soil as a result of applied pressure. Statement 2, soil compaction is soil compression plus increase in density of soil. अभी हम लोग physics में घुस चुके हैं. That's a very good sign. Physics is very important and physics से बहुत question आते हैं. At least 24-25 questions you can easily expect from all of soil physics. So physics में you should be very thorough. Physics is very important. And now tell me, soil compaction is referred as the increase in density of a soil as a result of applied pressure. Soil compaction is soil compression plus increase in density of soil. In light of the above statements, tell me the answer. I can see option A. Aage, option A, very good. I'm really impressed. This is taken from new ISSS. This is the snapshot of new ISSS and this is old ISSS. दोनों जगह में डेफिनेशन अलग अलग दिया हुआ है, वही दो लाइन उठा के हम यहाँ पे रखे हैं. This question is not made by me, but the question setter has done that. Soil compaction is the process of increasing bulk density and reducing pore volume as a result of applied pressure. Soil compaction encompasses compression plus increase in density of a soil, right? The two statements are there. So again, it is a very huge request to you. Read both the ISSS very thoroughly, read treatise very thoroughly. All right. Moving on, this is a mathematics question. We were very patiently waiting for that. Calculate the bulk density of a soil sample having a volume of 400 and oven dry weight of 575. The question in exam will not be this easy, but our setter is very kind. He has given an easy one for us to calculate it easily. But it's given, but the original question in exam will be a bit more tricky. They will not give you directly the two values. You have to derive some of the values and you have to answer. Here, what will be the answer? Tell me. Sir, which is common type of water erosion? Common type of water erosion, what do you mean by that? Common sheet erosion is the common type of water erosion. Reel erosion is also common. But out of the two of them, I think reel is more common. Common type of water erosion, yes. Sheet erosion is also called the nightmare erosion for farmers. So I can see answer B 1.44. ओके आप लोग तो कैलकुलेट कर लिए, मुझे भी यहाँ पे करना पड़ेगा. दोनों को 5 से काटते हैं. 80 5 1 सर 5 5 1 सर 5 115 by 80. सो इसको 5 से फिर से काटते हैं. 5 16 5 2 सर 10 23. So it would be 23 by 16. So it will be around 1.43 means 1.44, right? These questions are very easy. यहाँ पे तो सब कुछ दे ही दिया था. Directly given you the volume, directly given you the oven dry weight. So 1.44 is the correct answer. यहाँ पे कुछ explain करना नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है. Just simple division. Division तो हम class 1 में सीखे थे. So we'll move on. This question is very good. I think this is easy also. No problem in that. The moisture content at which soil flows under pressure. Keywords ढूंढना है. Soil flows under pressure मिल गया, or merely by gravity मिल गया, and run together with water is known as which consistency? This is a very easy one. I can already see one answer, and yes, again I can see another answer from the same guy. Again I can see another answer. Option D, option D, option D. You are very correct. This snapshot has been taken from Daniel Hillel, Fundamentals of Soil Physics. वो अभी JRF के पहले 1 महीने पहले तो बिल्कुल नहीं पढ़ना है. अगर पहले पढ़े हो बहुत अच्छी बात है, नहीं भी पढ़े हो तो चलेगा, ठीक है. MSc में आके अच्छे से पढ़ लेना. लेकिन Daniel Hillel is also called father of soil physics. I hope you know. So यहाँ पे अगर देखोगे तो if the moisture is increased beyond the plastic range, the saturated soil becomes sticky, and if worked, it will become a muddy paste and tend to behave as a viscous liquid. In the extreme or even more is added, it will enter into a state of suspension. So the answer is viscous consistency. All right, moving on. Available water in soil refers to that water which is held between. This is a very easy one. Very easy means very easy. Be fast. I can see option D, option D, option D, option D. Perfect. You guys are correct. The correct answer is field capacity and wilting coefficient. This is a picture of the old ISSS. This is a picture of the new ISSS. This figure is very, very important. Just now we concluded ARS mains. कुछ दिन पहले वहाँ पे भी ये question आया था, and we had to make this figure. So you understand this figure, and this figure is very, like, it will give you all the information that you need. So just remember this figure. This is very important. And also you can read this part. यहाँ से भी question आते हैं. There are 3 school of thoughts: Weimar and Hendrickson, then Ritchie, and then Thornthwaite and Mather. All those 3 school of thoughts you should know. You should know that graph. वो जो graph है ऐसा करके. I think all of you remember that graph. You should remember, know, and वो पढ़ लेना, उसको देख लेना अच्छे से. कब किसने क्या दिया था? वेमियर, हेनरिक्सन कब दिया था? रिची कब दिया था? All right. Finally, soil chemistry. Oh, after long 33 question चला गया soil chemistry तक आते आते. चलो, adsorption in soil is an ionic process. Nice statement. Langmuir adsorption is isotherm, refers to gaseous adsorption on ionic solid. Be very careful, read the 2 statements very thoroughly and tell me the answer. What is your name? Nikhila. Nikhila, you are wrong. You usually give all the correct answers, but you are wrong. Again, you are wrong. Aman Kumar, wrong. Spurti, you are also wrong. That's why I'm telling you, concentrate, concentrate, concentrate. Full attention. No, A is not the answer. Adsorption in soil is an ionic process. This is correct. Langmuir adsorption refers to gaseous adsorption on. अरे यार D क्यों मार रहे हो? D नहीं है भाई. Langmuir adsorption isotherm refers to gaseous adsorption on non-ionic solid. ISSS, again ISSS. Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Statement 1 is correct, but 2 is incorrect. Langmuir adsorption isotherm refers to gaseous adsorption on non-ionic solid. Old ISSS में जहाँ पे isotherms है वहाँ पे it is clearly written, while adsorption in soil is essentially an ionic process. This is written in that section of limitations of applying the isotherm theories on the soil stud. उसमें क्या गलत है? Like, why cannot we directly apply these isotherm equations on soil? This is the reason. वहाँ पे बहुत सारा limitations है, वो पढ़ना अच्छे से. Like cationic competition is there. Then the soils are polyfunctional exchangers, so that जो assumptions है, assumptions of Langmuir isotherm is very very important. In the last class I was telling all the assumptions you list it together in a place, उसको अच्छे से बना के रख दो and read that. Assumption से बहुत question आते हैं. Assumption of Darcy's law, assumption of Stokes law, assumption of double layer theory, assumption of Langmuir adsorption, assumption of Freundlich adsorption isotherm. These are very important. So Langmuir का जो assumptions है वो पढ़ना है. Assumptions के बाद in the next page you can see these are there which are called the limitations. कि क्यों हम इसको डायरेक्टली सॉइल में अप्लाई नहीं कर सकते. वहां पे क्लियरली लिखा है इट इज ए नॉन आयोनिक सॉलिड व्हाइल एडसॉर्प्शन इन सॉइल इज एसेंशियली एन आयोनिक प्रोसेस. ऑलराइट, एडसॉर्प्शन आइसोथर्म्स एंड ऑल आर वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. सॉइल केमिस्ट्री इज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. थोड़ा सा अच्छे से पढ़ोगे तो इट इज वेरी गुड. I joined late and now I don't have time to explain all that, but उसको अच्छे से पढ़ना, 2-3 बार पढ़ना. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the group. You can ask me personally, no problem. You can ask me, I will make you understand. These things are very easy and यहाँ से question आने का chances है. And if you get the questions, you should be able to answer. All right. Moving on to the next question. This is a very easy one. I will not allow any time for this. We will just move on. The law which states that the rate of flow of liquid or flux through a porous medium is proportional to the driving force, that is the hydraulic gradient, is known as Darcy's law. Yes, very good. यहाँ पे I will take some of your time just to make it clear. All right. यहाँ पे जो term है flux का मतलब है amount of something. मैं amount जानबूझ के लिखा because it can be both mass, it can be both volume, it can be anything. All right. Amount of something flowing per unit area per unit time, that is known as flux. All right. Is it clear? Flux का मतलब है amount of something flowing, it may be mass of something flowing, volume of something flowing per unit area per unit time. ठीक है. And it is generally denoted by Q. All right. It is generally denoted by Q. अब ये Q जब हमारे पास आ गया, when we get this Q, now we will use this Q to devise out the laws. This flux is proportional to the gradient. So gradient हम ऐसे लिखते हैं. This is the hydraulic gradient. Again, this flux is proportional to, this is the concentration gradient. Again, this flux is proportional to, ये कर देते हैं. And again, this flux is proportional to dt by dx. All right. एक ही concept से we will get 4 laws, right? Hydraulic gradient के साथ जब flux dependent है, that is Darcy's law. Flux के साथ hydraulic gradient जब related है, that is Darcy's law. Flux के साथ जब concentration gradient related है, that is Fick's law. Here you can see in the option, Fick's law of diffusion. Same flux के साथ जब electrical potential gradient related है, that is called Ohm's law. And when इसी flux के साथ temperature gradient related है, that is called Fourier's law. So concept is same for all 4. Just you have to know gradient किसका है and flow किसका हो रहा है. यहाँ पे water का flow हो रहा है, यहाँ पे ions का flow हो रहा है या gas का flow हो रहा है, यहाँ पे electric का flow हो रहा है, electricity is flowing, and यहाँ पे heat का flow हो रहा है. That is why temperature gradient. ठीक. So this is Fourier's law, this is Ohm's law, this is Darcy's law, this is Fick's law. And this proportionality constant को हटाने के लिए हमें क्या करना होता है? All of us know that proportionality constant को हटाने के लिए we have to put one equal sign and we have to take one proportionality constant. This proportionality constant in Darcy's law is called hydraulic conductivity. In Fick's law, it is called diffusivity. In Fourier's law, it is called thermal conductivity. And in Ohm's law, it is called resistivity. All right. Conductivity, resistivity, all those you have read in class 11 and 12. I'm sorry, it is not resistivity, it is conductivity. 1 by K rho. Right. So I think it is clear. Is it clear? You could let me know if anything is unclear, or you can please write in the comment that it is clear. और मुझे लगता है यहाँ से और कुछ गलत नहीं होना चाहिए. There should be no mistake from this. Only one concept is there. That concept will lead to 4 laws. All those 4 laws you can directly remember and correlate. और वहां पे कुछ नहीं है. The law का statement ये बाद में जब एग्जाम में लिखोगे भी कहीं पे सब्जेक्टिव एग्जाम में, तो the flux is proportional to the gradient. यही स्टेटमेंट है. अब किसका फ्लक्स है और किसका ग्रेडियंट है उसके ऊपर 4 laws. Very good. Yes, clear. I can see. Very. Thank you so much. Let's move on. यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा टाइम चला गया, कोई बात नहीं. We will use time. Ratio of thermal conductivity to volumetric heat capacity is. These are very basic questions of physics. But यहाँ से क्वेश्चन आते हैं तो चाहिए तो. Tell me. Option C, thermal diffusivity. Yes, you are very correct. Option C. Yes. The thermal diffusivity denoted by alpha, ये important है, इसको याद रखना. Temperature तो मैंने sorry, unit तो बहुत important है. Unit is very important. कहीं से भी unit पूछता है. They ask units all the time. So unit is very important. Now the definition, the ratio of thermal conductivity to heat capacity. इन दोनों का notations भी याद रखना. This is called lambda. This is CV. So alpha is equal to lambda by CV. This CV is nothing but volumetric heat capacity. It is a measure. इसका definition भी याद रखना, वो भी आ सकता है. They can give you the names, thermal diffusivity, thermal conductivity, and something this and that, and in the right side they will give you the definitions. So match the following. So be very clear. And also units जो मैं बोला, they will give you all the names, thermal diffusivity, thermal conductivity, heat capacity, and in the right column they will give you all the units. Match the following. कितना भी you think these are simple, these are not simple in the exam. In the exam pressure, in the time pressure, you will get confused. एक unit के साथ एक लग जाएगा, and the options are so confusing. They will deliberately make it confusing. So be very thorough with the units. Units को derive करना सीखो. Even if you don't remember the unit at that point, if you know the units of these two, उसको divide करके इसको derive करो. Use dimensional analysis. कुछ भी करके इसको derive करना सीखो. But be very thorough with the units. Unit से question आएगा ही आएगा. Unit से question आएगा ही आएगा. Yes, that's a very good point you have put. Centimeter square or meter square. It can be both. Centimeter, meter, दोनों तो distance का ही है ना. The diffusivity in Fick's law also, that is centimeter square per second. Unit is essentially the same. यहाँ पे meter square per second, probably due to like you have seen the hydraulic head. Hydraulic conductivity. Hydraulic conductivity is expressed in centimeter also, in millimeter also. So that is because centimeter से अगर करेंगे तो इतना छोटा value आएगा, तो इसीलिए it is expressed in millimeter. So centimeter square, meter square लेकर चिंता मत करना. See the dimension. Dimension मिल रहा है कि नहीं? All right. So we'll move on to the next question. इसका आंसर जल्दी जल्दी बताओ. This is also a PYQ. This is also a PYQ. I remember very thoroughly. If anyone can tell me this question is taken from where, the name of the book, I will be very impressed. Let's see. Someone has asked, what is the unit of thermal retentivity? Thermal retentivity is the nothing but it is the kind of heat capacity only. It might be heat capacity, it might be specific heat capacity, और उसका heat capacity only. So heat capacity का जो unit है वही thermal retentivity का unit है. Can anyone tell me this question is taken from where? The irrigation method likely to be used where water supply is limited and market value of crop is high. This is not from treatise. This is from A.K. Saha. I don't know how many of you have read A.K. Saha soil physics. A.K. Saha का जो soil physics का book है, उसका exercise अगर देखोगे, उसका exercise में ये question है, और इसी की तरह इसका opposite question भी है कि where the water supply is very high and the market value of crop is low. और ये तो question alternate years में आता रहता है. In 2023 it came, in 2022 it came, in 2024 it came. If you see the PYQs, in my time it came, for my seniors also it came, the other one. So this book is also very good, and you, if possible, इसका जो exercise है, you don't have to read the theory. Read the theory from ICCs, that is enough. But इसका exercise अगर अलग से, if you can get, उसका MCQs, true false और fill in the blanks है, वो practice कर लेना. that might give you some question. All right, इसमें तो कुछ एक्सप्लेन करने का नहीं है. This is just, you can see, वो लिखा हुआ है, but it is drip. That is a very common sense. Moving on, size of milli watershed in hectare. Yes, ये क्वेश्चन भी आता है. This question is directly from treatise. Treatise का जो fertility, I think in the fertility it is in the last page. Fertility का जो last page है उसमें है. Size of milli fertility में है कि pedology में है? I can't remember. Probably fertility. Yes, 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 yes. I can see the answers. इसमें तो कुछ देखो यार, इसमें तो याद रखना ही है. You cannot do anything. गलत आंसर दे रहे हो भाई. You have to know the answer. C is the answer. This table is very, very important. I will tell you repeatedly. PYQs में this has come repeatedly. I myself have seen twice. All right, 2022, 2023. This has come. You have to remember all it, and you have to remember all the size. You have to remember the names. Milli, micro, mini. यहाँ पे confusion होता है because generally we put milli in the last. लेकिन यहाँ पे ऐसा नहीं है. Milli, micro, mini और उसका. You can remember this also with the trick. First you have to remember this. उसके बाद एक एक zero डालते जाओ. 100, 100,000, 1,000, 10,000. Then from here also you have to remember 10 to 50 and greater than 50. Greater than 50 is macro. Okay, so इसमें कुछ समझाने का तो है नहीं. This is just the classification, but this is very important. Please remember, this is very important. There is a huge chance this question has already come in your exam, so go and study this table. All right, go and study. This is also a very good question. Let's see if you can answer. Soil aeration is the phenomenon of rapid exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between the soil pore space and atmosphere. All right. Well aerated soil contains enough oxygen for respiration of roots and aerobic microbes and for oxidation reaction to proceed at optimum rate. Both of these statements are very basic and I don't think there is much. Both statement 1 and 2 are correct. You are seeing option C. Here our question setter has made some mischief and he has put this one as option C. Usually this is in option 1. But yeah, it's good. You are Nikhila, it is not option A. Option A is not. Both statement 1 and 2 are correct. Both statement 1 and 2 are correct as given in option C. So iske liye bhi you have to be careful, you know, in exam. So definitely it is both the statements are correct because both the statements are very, very basic statements. इसमें कुछ नहीं है. Soil aeration refers to the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide, and this process results in the respiration and all what is written, respiration of roots, aerobic microbes and oxidation reactions to proceed at optimum rate. Right? No problem. Moving on. Oops, I'm sorry. I have given. All right. इसमें तो I have already the answer is shown, so you could not guess it. But yeah, a soil with a mean annual temperature ranging from 8 degrees Celsius to less than 15 degrees Celsius and a difference of more than 5 degrees Celsius between mean summer and mean winter soil temperature belongs to which temperature regime? Here you can see it is MESIC. So यहाँ पे in the questions the keywords are mean annual temperature 8 degrees से 15 degree जो है, this 8 to 15, this is the keyword, and also a difference of more than 5 degrees Celsius. Why is this written? Because this describes whether you should use ISO or not. Here you can see difference between mean summer and winter temperature is less than 5, then we will use ISO. If it is not less than 5, if it is more, then we will not use ISO, we will use directly. All right, this is also very, very important. This figure is also very, very important. This is the class criteria of different soil temperature regimes. This is also in, yes, if it is less than, then it would be ISO. This is also in the chapter of Dr. J.L. Sehgal in the old ISSS, that soil genesis and classification chapter. There, this is very important. You should be very thorough with this table. And यहाँ पे ये question आता है, craic और frigid में क्या difference है? Pargelic और craic में you get very confused. And pargelic और craic में sometimes we also make mistakes because याद नहीं रहता कौन पहले आता है कौन बाद में आता है. All right, be very thorough with this table. Question 40. This question, let's see if you can do. The value of Munsell notation 10 YR 3 by 6 is. Where is the answer? I can see 3. Yes, you are very correct. Option 3 is the answer. No, not option 3. 3. Option 3 is in C. Very good. So yes, इसमें तो ज्यादा कुछ बोलने का नहीं है. We all know Munsell color notation consists of hue, value and chroma. Hue, value and chroma तीनों का definition बहुत important है. So you should know the definition. In this 10 YR is the hue, 3 is the value, 6 is the chroma. What is hue? Indicates the dominant spectral color. This is the keyword. You have to remember this all the time. Dominant spectral color. Value is the degree of lightness or darkness, and chroma is the purity, strength or intensity of the color. These three keywords you should definitely remember. These 3 keywords you should definitely remember. And also ये notation कैसे लिखता है, that's also you should remember. And that Munsell color chart, there is one color wheel. If you search in Google you will find it. उसको देख लेना. जैसे यहाँ से एक क्वेश्चन आया था 2024 में. In 2024 PYQ there was one question. If the soil contains huge amounts of organic matter, what will be its value, less or more? Can anyone give the answer to this question? If the soil contains huge amount of organic matter, the value will be less or more? Value 0. Yes. You are very thorough with your PYQs, it seems. So the value will be on the lesser side. ज़्यादा organic matter है तो 0 means it is darker. On the less side 0 means it is darker. जितना ऊपर जाएगा 0 to 10 is value. 0 to 10, 0 is absolute black, 10 is absolute white. जितना ऊपर जाएगा उतना white होता जाएगा. For chroma also it is neutral gray will have a chroma of 0, and जितना bright होगा, जितना pure color होगा उतना वो ऊपर जाएगा, है ना? That is very easy, but Munsell notation, Munsell color chart is important. All right, be very thorough. Moving on. A tractor drawn cultivator. यहाँ पे tractor drawn भी keyword है, cultivator भी keyword है. Is classified as which type of tillage implement? This is agronomy question. It is not. This is agronomy question. There is no soil science in this, but you have to answer as a question आते हैं. Only B, you are telling. Only B. Only B. Yes, I don't think we can waste much time in this. यहाँ पे cultivator है, मतलब secondary tillage implement है. It is as easy as that. Cultivator is a secondary tillage implement. Primary तो कतई नहीं है. Blind tillage implement भी नहीं है. So, all right. Moving on. This question is also, I specifically remember it has come in my time in 2023 JRF, in which I got AIR 5. उसमें ये question आया था, the tortuosity of soil is always greater than 1, less than 1, 0, like that. So, yes, I have told the answer and I can see the answer also. It is tortuosity. Yes, it is more than 1. Very good. What is tortuosity? It is a fundamental property of all the porous media, like soil, that describes the twisting, winding nature of the pore space. The pore space जो soil में है, that is not as a straight नहीं है, it is twisting. Because aggregate जैसे form हुआ उस हिसाब से pore form हुआ, है ना? It is mathematically defined as the ratio of the actual distance of a fluid particle must travel to the macroscopic straight line distance. यानी ऐसे travel करके आया from this point to this point, और this point का जो straight line distance है, इन दोनों का रेशियो है tortuosity, right? Very good. यहाँ से क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. Yes, you have written sand clay. Sand में tortuosity ज्यादा है, clay में क्या है? ये आ सकता है. More than 1, less than 1 वो आ सकता है. And this definition ये भी आ सकता है, right? Moving on. What is the type of water held so tenaciously in soil, absorbed from the atmosphere, forming a thin film present in a non-liquid form and unavailable to plants? बहुत सारे clues इसमें दिया गया है. तो many clues are there. Tenaciously in soil, absorbed from the atmosphere, forming a thin film, non-liquid form, unavailable to plants. इतना सारा clue है. Yes, you are definitely correct. The correct answer is hygroscopic water. Hygroscopic water का जो definition है उसमें बोला हुआ है, it is in the vapor form, it is in non-liquid form. Definitely it is non-liquid and इट इज प्रेजेंट एज ए वेरी थिन फिल्म, लाइक ये अगर सॉइल पार्टिकल है तो इसके ऊपर वेपर फॉर्म में जो एकदम थिन फिल्म बन के जो एब्जॉर्ब हुआ है, दैट इज द हाइग्रोस्कोपिक वाटर, एंड इट इज डेफिनेटली अनअवेलेबल टू प्लांट्स, क्योंकि प्लांट रूट्स के पास उतना पावर नहीं है कि दे कैन एक्सट्रैक्ट इट. ऑलराइट, मूविंग ऑन. Again we are back to pedology, mineral, anoxide, pedology, mineral, chemistry, anoxide, nacrite, dicite. Oh, sorry, this is from chemistry. Clay mineral. Anoxide, nacrite and dicite are included in which type of clay mineral? Tell me. Yes, Saman Kumar, you are very correct. Your performance is very impressive. Anil Jat, yes, yours also. You are doing mostly correct. इसमें तो कुछ है नहीं. This is a very easy question. Nothing to worry about it. These are 1:1 type silicate clay minerals. The 1:1 type of clays are including kaolinite, halloysite. Halloysite याद रखना. Halloysite is just like kaolinite, but it has water molecules in between, है ना? That is halloysite. Then anoxide, nacrite and dicite. These are the 1:1. 1:1 क्या है? ये सब तो अब बोलने का समय बिल्कुल ही नहीं है, because एक महीने में एग्जाम में. So tetrahedral, octahedral, 1, 1, 1:1. All right. Moving on. Again, we are in chemistry. Soil chemistry is the most interesting part. Which of the following statements is not? यहाँ पे ख्याल रखना भाई लोग. Not. You should remember. Not correct about montmorillonite. It is a type of 1:2 type clay mineral. Contains single gibbsite octahedral sheet sandwiched between two silica tetrahedral sheet. Basal spacing is 18 angstrom. Have high amount of negative charge resulting from isomorphous substitution. CEC is 80 to 150. 80 to 150. Sorry for the typo. 80 to 150. इसमें not correct. Incorrect क्या है बताओ? Only 3 is not correct. Option D. No, it is not option D. You are wrong. Only 3 is not correct is wrong. Because यहाँ पे और भी गलत चीजें हैं. See that. पहले एलिमिनेट करते हैं, जो करेक्ट है उसको हटा देते हैं, है ना? Have high amount of negative charge resulting from isomorphous substitution. This is very correct. तो जहां पे 4 है उसको तो हटाओ, एक ऑप्शन एलिमिनेट कर पाए, ठीक है? Basal spacing is 18 angstrom. You might think this is not correct, but actually it's not. I have the source, I will show you. It is written montmorillonite can go up to 18 angstrom as well. अगर बहुत ज्यादा उसका एक्सपेंशन हुआ तो it can go up to 18 angstrom. So 3 is correct. तो जहां पे 3 है उसको हटाओ. So only 1 and 5 are not correct. Why it's not correct? Because यार यहाँ पे 1:2 लिखा है. See, this is very deliberately it is made to make you like mistaken. ऐसा questions आते हैं. In my JRF in 2023 they have asked the question. They have ऐसे दिया था. Na2 plus. Not in my JRF, sorry, in my mock JRF in 2022. 2022 JRF they have given Na2 plus. While I was solving the paper, I thought this is a typing mistake और मैं ठीक लगा के आ गया. फिर when I saw the answer key, they have given it wrong. So this is a deliberate attempt. Na2 plus anyone will see and think it's a typing mistake, but it's not. So similarly here 1:2. It is deliberately to make you wrong. And this contains single gibbsite octahedral sheet sandwiched between two silicon tetrahedral sheet. This is also correct. So only 1 and 5 are not correct, right? Here pe if you see montmorillonite, here you can see where is that line. Yes. The basal spacing of montmorillonite mineral varies 9.6 angstrom to 18 angstrom as well. All right, is it clear? Moving on. The potential difference between the fixed layer and the freely mobile portion of diffuse double layer is known as very basic chemistry. Tell me the answer fast. यहाँ पे ऑप्शन ही इतना खराब दिया है. Nothing to think about also. Directly you can tell the answer. Zeta potential. So this you have to be very thorough from your old ISSS. Old ISSS में जो chapter है soil colloids written by Dr. S.K. Sanyal. That chapter is very brilliant. थोड़ा बड़ा है but it is very good. So you should be very thorough with that. And here you can see that is called denoted by zeta and it is known as the zeta potential. अब zeta potential क्या है क्या नहीं है वो समझाने का अभी time नहीं है. We will discuss it later if possible. Given below are the two statements. Intense weathering of soil shifts its ZPC towards higher pH owing to greater accumulation of hydrous oxide, hydroxide of Fe and Al, and also enrichment of soil layer that is clays with kaolinite. That's a long statement. एक बार फिर से पढ़ना पड़ेगा पूरा. Intense weathering of soil shifts its ZPC towards higher pH owing to greater accumulation of hydrous oxide, hydroxides of Fe and Al, and also enrichment of soil layer that is clays with kaolinite. Statement 2. Organic matter pushes the ZPC towards higher pH. In light of the above statements, choose the correct answer. I will give you some time for this. You have to analyze and tell me. Intense weathering of soil shifts its ZPC towards higher pH owing to greater accumulation. Nikhila is telling statement 1 is true but statement 2 is false. Spurti is telling statement both are false. ठीक है. Anil Jat is telling statement 1 is true but statement 2 is false. Statement, yes, I have seen your answer. Statement 1 is true, statement 2 is false. Yes, you are correct. Statement 1 is true but statement 2 is false. ये वाला जो स्टेटमेंट है ये क्यों है उसका रीजन यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है. इंटेंस वेदरिंग ऑफ सॉइल शिफ्ट्स इट्स ZPC टुवर्ड्स हायर pH owing to greater accumulation of hydrous oxide, hydroxides of Fe, and as a result it shifts it towards higher pH. Organic matter pushes the ZPC towards lower pH. अब you might ask कि ऐसा क्यों? Why? So I will make you understand that in very minimum amount of time. Organic matter contains lots of organic functional groups. Right? All these are there in organic matter. This is carboxylic group, this is alcohol, this is phenol. All right. So we know organic matter is a huge source of negative charge because ये जो सारे H plus है, ये H plus को अगर निकाल दो तो it will be CO minus, it will be O minus, this will also be O minus, है ना? So when there are lots of negative charges in the soil, if you are adding organic matter, the negative charge का proportion in the soil is increasing. So उस charge को balance करने के लिए you need more H plus. More H plus is needed to balance these charges. ZPC का मतलब क्या है? 0 point charge. The surface charge is 0. When will the surface charge be 0? When the minus and the plus cancel out. अब वो cancel करने के लिए organic matter अगर ज्यादा है तो ज्यादा negative charge का source soil में आ चुका है. उसको balance करने के लिए ज्यादा H plus चाहिए. ज्यादा H plus का मतलब क्या है? pH is ज्यादा H plus means pH is low. Is it not true? So organic matter pushes the ZPC towards lower pH. पहले जितना pH में 0 हो जा रहा था surface charge, अभी और low में जाना पड़ेगा to make it 0. हाँ. And weathering, intense weathering में क्या होता है? It is the opposite. उसका आंसर यहाँ पे रीजन यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है. Correct? Submergence of soil leads to. This is also a very easy question. This is directly in given in the new ISSS in the chapter of Dr. S.C. Dotto, Soil Mineralogy and Chemistry. उसका अगर last part में देखोगे, the last pages consists of this. Tell the answer. Be quick. We have some more questions to go. Increase in pH of acid soil. Increase in pH of acid soil. Yes. Increase in pH of acid soil. Very good. I'm very impressed. Increase in pH of acid soil. Increase in pH of alkaline soil नहीं होता, लेकिन ये अगर यहाँ पे इन के जगह डिक होता, यानी कि decrease in pH of alkaline soil, then A and B both would have been correct, right? Because ये भी correct होता, यहाँ पे अगर decrease होता तो ये भी correct होता, because you can see this graph. Submergence leads to pH neutrality. pH कहीं पे भी हो originally soil का, उसको अगर submerge कर दिया जाए तो it will come towards neutrality after a point of time. ठीक है? If it is alkaline soil, उसका pH घटेगा, decrease होगा. If it is acid soil, उसका pH बढ़ेगा. You can see this graph. You can see this graph, and also Here you can read उसका क्या कारण है, but I don't think the कारण is needed for JRF. For JRF, you should know this, that submergence leads to neutrality, right? The acidity associated with H plus and Al3 plus ions, including aluminium hydroxy ions that are bound in non-exchangeable forms by clay and organic matter in the soil, is called I can see option B, option C. No, it is not option C. Why it would be option C? That are bound in. Okay. Sorry. Yes. It would be option C. Non-exchangeable. I have forgot this. Yes, you are correct. You have to be very thorough with the questions. I have also missed the non part. Actually, I forgot. So the acidity associated with H plus and Al3 plus ions, including Al hydroxy ions that are bound in non-exchangeable forms by clay and organic matter in the soil, it is called non-exchangeable form है तो residual है, exchangeable form है तो exchangeable होता. Correct? I'm really sorry. यहाँ पे residual acidity जो है वहाँ पे you can see generally associated with H plus and Al3 plus ions, including Al hydroxy ions like AlOH2 plus and AlOH plus that are bound in non-exchangeable forms by clay and organic matter in the soil. So this is also from new ICAR, right? Moving on. Which type of salt affected soil is represented by the following characteristics? This is also very easy. We will not take any time in this. Just tell the answer first. Soil pH less than 8.5, EC more than 4, SAR more than 13. ये कौन सा soil को दर्शाता है? Which soil? Which type of salt affected soil is represented by the following characteristics? Saline soil. Saline soil क्योंकि pH less than 8.5 है, तो सोडिक चला गया. EC more than 4 है, तो saline रहा. SAR more than 13 है. ये देखो भाई, SAR more than 13. How can you say it is A? SAR, sodium adsorption ratio. Sodium is more. Sodium ज़्यादा है. So you cannot say it is saline. You have to remember this table. This is from treatise. This table is there in new ICAR also. Until this top 2 points, it was saline. But when this third point came, SAR is more than 13. SAR is more than 13. If it was given ESP is more than 15, then it would be saline sodic. है ना? You cannot say it is only saline. Correct? Am I correct? Nikhila and Spurti, have you got it? It is not option A. Please check and please be thorough. Be careful. है ना? Given below are the two statements. Soil pH measures the H plus ion activity and is expressed in logarithmic terms. For measuring pH, the pH meter is calibrated by standard buffer solution of 4, 7 and 9.2. This is from instrumentation and soil acidity. It's a mixed question, but you should know. Anil Jat is telling A, then you are telling C. Then again you are telling C. Both statements are true. Yes, you are also correct. Because first statement तो सबको पता है, H plus ion activity, pH का definition ही है, minus log activity of H plus. ठीक है? Remember this activity term. It is not concentration, it is activity. And activity is concentration into activity coefficient. है ना? So while you are reading, be very thorough. एग्जाम में अगर दोनों स्टेटमेंट्स आया कंसंट्रेशन एंड एक्टिविटी, यू शुड गो फॉर एक्टिविटी. एक्टिविटी इज मोर एप्रोप्रिएट. ऑप्शन में सो ऑप्शन में अगर कंसंट्रेशन है बाकी कुछ नहीं है, देन कंसंट्रेशन यू कैन गो फॉर, बिकॉज इन डाइल्यूट सॉल्यूशंस कंसंट्रेशन एंड एक्टिविटी आर द सेम, वी कंसीडर इट द सेम. बट अगर एक्टिविटी मेंशन है तो गो विद द मोर एप्रोप्रिएट वन एंड दैट वुड बी एक्टिविटी. एक्टिविटी इज ऐसे लिखा जाता है, एक्टिविटी ऑफ H प्लस. इफ इट इज कंसंट्रेशन तो ऐसे लिखा जाता है. दिस नोटेशंस यू विल गेट टू नो. ठीक है? and this ये तो treatise से है. For measuring pH, the pH meter is calibrated by 4, 7 and 9.2. This was there, है ना? हाँ, option में गड़बड़ हो गया. Yes, I can understand because it was given in option 3. Very nice, no problem. We will move on. What is the bond between amino acids called? A question of biomolecules. I remember the paper of 2022 JRF paper में at least 12 questions were from biomolecules. They have asked many biomolecules question. Please do not take biomolecules lightly. NCERT पढ़ना है, कुछ पढ़ना है, Google, whatever, Gemini, ChatGPT, biomolecules अच्छे से पढ़ के जाना, thoroughly पढ़ के जाना. There is a huge chance questions might come. I can see all the correct answers. इसमें कुछ बोलना ही नहीं है. But for your information, I have written here what is a peptide bond. It is a specific type of covalent bond that links amino acids together to form polypeptide chains. We know peptide, polypeptide, फिर polypeptide से protein बनता है. So it is a peptide bond, and this bond is formed through a biochemical process called dehydration synthesis. This is also called condensation reaction. This is for your knowledge. During this process, the carboxyl group जो COOH है reacts with the amino group of the other and forms. कैसे होता है? Amino acid में दो group रहना mandatory है. This is carboxylic acid. This makes it acid. And amino group रहना mandatory है. This is what? So ये दोनों group जब पास में आता है, तो यहाँ से OH, यहाँ से एक H, दोनों मिला के H2O निकल जाता है, and it forms, है ना? So that's how the peptide bond is formed. Is it clear? I think you understood it. I have not much space here to write that. COH और NH2 जब पास आएगा, तो with the release of one H2O, you will get the peptide bond. Is it clear, or should I tell it again? NH2. है ना? I cannot see any response, man. All right, we are on the last part. Moving on to the next question. This is also a very easy question. You have to do it. You have to do it very fast and tell me the answer. If a soil has a CEC of 16 and exchangeable sodium of 4 mole centimole positive charge per kg of soil, what is the exchangeable sodium percentage? जो formula है, उस formula में directly put it and you will get the answer. All right. यहाँ पे कुछ है ही नहीं. All the units are also same. यहाँ पे अगर unit इधर उधर होता तो be very careful. You have to cancel out the unit because exchangeable sodium percentage has no unit. It is a percentage. So if the unit was different, it would have been a bit more tough. But this is very easy. 4 by 16 into 100. It is 25%. Indicator used in available nitrogen. Indicator used in available nitrogen. Fast. These are very basic and easy questions of analysis. Be very thorough with the analysis chapter. वहाँ से questions आते हैं, and that is a bit difficult for JRF, I know. For us, it is easy now. After research, it will be easy for you also. You will work with your own hands, and that will be very easy. But yes, available nitrogen में this is also called mixed indicator, and it is called bromocresol green and methyl red. The standard analytical procedure is alkaline potassium permanganate method developed by Subbaiah and Ashija in 1956. नाम भी याद रखना है, Subbaiah and Ashija. During this procedure थोड़ा सा लिखा हुआ है, and the indicator added to the boric acid trap is also called mixed indicator. This is also important. ये भी आ सकता है. Remember the term. It is called mixed indicator, consisting of bromocresol green and methyl red. Bromocresol green and methyl red. All right. Be very thorough with the analysis chapter. जो old IEEES का जो chapter है written by HLS Tandon, that analysis chapter, analysis of fertilizer, plants and soil, be very thorough with that. The atomic absorption spectroscopy, the spectrophotometer, then the emission spectroscopy, flame photometer, ICPOES, all those instruments are very important. Read them thoroughly. Just yesterday, someone asked a question in the group like which type of AAS is used for which, like cold vapor is used for mercury, then hydride generation is used for. Excuse me. Hello. ক্লাসে হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ কি হয়েছে হুম আচ্ছা ঠিক 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 so I think it is clear. So be very thorough with your that analysis chapter and analysis portion. The instruments उसमें जो है indicators जो है phosphorus estimation, nitrogen estimation, available nitrogen, total nitrogen, phosphorus in alkaline soil, phosphorus in acidic soil, उसका indicators, उसका reagents, everything. All right. Moving on. If the pH of soil is raised from 5 to 6, पहला pH जो था that is 5, the new pH is 6. The hydrogen ion activity will, what will it do? Option B, hydrogen activity will increase 10 times. Are? pH is increased from 5 to 6. pH is increasing. The pH is increasing. It is increasing. How can the hydrogen ion activity increase? Of course, it will be decreasing 10 times. What? Do not put option B. Because the pH is in logarithmic terms. है ना? So logarithmic term means it is on the power of 10, 10 to the power 5, 10 to the power 6, 10 to the power 7, like that. Actually, it is negative log, so it will be 10 to the power minus 6, 10 to the power minus 5, 10 to the power minus 7. So if the pH increases 1 unit, 5 से 6 हुआ, so the hydrogen ion activity from 10 to the power minus 5 becomes 10 to the power minus 6. So it decreases, decrease. pH बढ़ रहा है, तो alkalinity बढ़ रहा है. The hydrogen ion activity will decrease. Whereas if pH घट रहा है, तो hydrogen ion activity will increase. If it was opposite 6 to 5, then it would have been increase. All right. I think these are very easy and very basic, nothing to think about. Brown, Welch and Carey establish the essentiality of which plant nutrient? That essentiality table of plant nutrient with all the names of the scientists, that is extremely important. You have to be very thorough with that table and you have to remember all of them, all the name of the scientists who discovered the essentiality of which. All right. I can see option D. Yes, you are correct. This I have taken from old IEEES. Actual source is Tisdale. ये किसी भी किताब में मिल जाएगा. Old IEEES, new IEEES, Tisdale, everywhere you can see. You have to remember these two columns definitely. The year is not that necessary. Fine. If you can remember the year, fine. But it is not that necessary. This is totally mandatory and totally necessary. All right. You have to be very thorough with this table. यहाँ से match the following आता है, single element का आता है. They will ask the scientist name like here, and they will ask which element they discovered, है ना? Essentiality. Which of the following deficiency symptoms is not related to boron? This is a very basic question from mineral nutrition chapter. Nothing to worry about. Which of the following deficiency symptoms is not related to boron? Top sickness, fruit cracking, crown choking, frenching, frond leaf of potato. You have to be very thorough with your treatise for this. And in the treatise, all these disease names are taken directly from treatise, and treatise is nothing but new IEEES in short form. So if you have read the new IEEES or the treatise, this is nothing for you. Yes, the correct answer is option C. You are correct. 4 and 5 only. Frenching and farm leaf is not, whereas top sickness, fruit cracking and crown choking of coconut. This is one of the most important disease, and this is very much prevalent in India. If you go to the coconut plantations, you will see crown choking, and वहाँ पे हर जगह में boron का deficiency है. So if you spray borax, you will get a very good yield. And also this cracking also happens due to boron only, and this top sickness also boron. This Frenching and farm leaf is not due to boron. Who states that even if all but one of the essential possible elements be present, the absence of that one will render the crop barren. This is a direct statement from the whose law? Which law we are talking about? Even if all but one of the essential possible elements be present, the absence of that one will render the crop barren. B, this is nothing but Liebig's law of minimum. This is from the old ICCS, the mineral nutrition chapter. The nutrient present in the least relative amount is the limiting nutrient. In its extreme form, it implies that even if all but one of the essential elements be present, the absence of that one constituent renders the crop barren. We all know this concept. इसमें कुछ है नहीं समझाने लायक. अगर नाइट्रोजन सबसे कम है, तो नाइट्रोजन will be the limiting. And the second most lowest if phosphorus, then after all the nitrogen is used up, then phosphorus will be the most limiting, so on and so on. So whatever is the most limiting nutrient, the absence of that one will render the crop barren. So essentiality का मतलब है all the elements should be present. नाइट्रोजन से क्रॉप बढ़ता है, बहुत ज्यादा नाइट्रोजन है, लेकिन वहां पे फास्फोरस नहीं है, वहां पे बोरॉन नहीं है, तो कोई मतलब नहीं है. Absence of that one essential nutrient will make it barren, right? We are on the second last question. Given below are two statements. Immobilization of N can take place by both biological and non-biological method. Biological method plays greater role in nitrogen fixation in forest soil. This question is a bit tricky. So let's see. Immobilization of N can take place by both biological and non-biological method. Biological method plays a greater role in nitrogen fixation in forest soil. I can see answer option C. What about the others? The regular answers. What about the others? Option C, I can see from Shreyoshi, Nikhila and Anil Jat are telling A. Aha, it's not A. The answer is option C. This has been taken from ICCS directly. These are the statements of old ICCS. Immobilization of N can take place by both biological through microorganisms and non-biological abiotic processes. With the latter means the non-biological is more important in forest soils. So this biological method plays greater role in nitrogen fixation in forest soils is wrong. All right, option will be C. And this is the last question of today's session. This is a very common question, and this is about the properties of urea. You have to know this. You have to read the fertilizer chapter also बहुत अच्छे से, fertilizers and manure, written by Dr. G. Narayan Swami and Dr. D. R. Biswas. That chapter is very important, and उसमें से बहुत questions आते हैं. So you should be very thorough. Which of the following statements are not correct about urea? Tell me which are not correct. Urea is organic compound, content 46% N. This is correct, है ना? Equivalent acidity of urea is 60. This is incorrect. So जहाँ जहाँ पे C है, those will be the answer. We will cut this off. We will cut this off because A is not there. So C, B and F. Let's see. Hydrolysis of urea takes 3 to 7 days in soil. E is also correct, but E हमारे option में नहीं है. So we will not do. Okay. Melting point of urea is 132.7. Under anaerobic soil conditions, ammonium carbonate being an unstable compound is further hydrolyzed to ammonium hydroxide and carbonic acid. Yes, that is also correct. So F जहाँ पे है, we also cut that. So even if you don't remember option B and option D, by remembering the other logical points, we can answer the question. It will be option C. All right, only C is not correct. Only C is not correct because the equivalent acidity of urea is, can anyone tell? I think all of you should tell. Tell me and I will write what is the equivalent acidity of urea. Yes, you are perfectly right. It is 80. So उसको छोड़ के बाकी जितना भी statements यहाँ पे है all are correct. So this is the 60 questions and tomorrow we will discuss another 60. This set is good. You have some good questions. So I would like your feedback. How did you like the session? How did you enjoy? I am very new in this domain of online education, and if there are any problems and you did not like anything, I apologize for that, and you please give your feedbacks. How can I make it better? And I will definitely try to help. And if you have no comments, we will end the session here. We have completed the 60 questions and it took us 1 hour and 55 minutes. I think that is acceptable, but still we'll try to cover it a bit more fast tomorrow. And let's see. It was very helpful. Acha. All right then. I think we are done. See you tomorrow at the same time, 5:30, and we will discuss some more soil science. In the meantime, if you have any doubt about today's class, about today's session, or anything, any doubt, you can contact me, you can ask me, you can write in the comments of the YouTube video, whatever, you just do it. I will be there to help you until your exam. Definitely, I wish you all the best and I will end it.